So there's a lot of information online about certain things within football. For example, you've got these things that you've seen so many players have. You've got that tee that South American footballers always travel with. And then there's topics like six packs, shaving legs and wrist tape. But what even are these? What do they do? And do they even have an impact on a footballer's performance? Well, let's get into that. So I'm going to start with shaving legs. You see a lot of elite footballers shave their legs, and it's for a lot of different reasons. Now I'm going to answer this only once. It's not because it makes players run faster. I can't believe how many times I've read this or been asked this, if shaving your legs make you run faster. Now there are a few reasons players actually shave their legs. For example, before matches or even after matches and training sessions, players like to get massages. Now you've got a physio or a masseuse rubbing down on your legs, and if you have quite hairy legs, this can actually be quite painful sometimes, because as they're rubbing down and up on your leg, it's pulling your hair. So this is one reason. Another reason is a lot of players get their legs, their knees, their ankles, any muscle group, they get them taped up. Now taping up is actually fine, but it's when you have to take the tape off. And if you have hairy legs, then this can be extremely painful. So this is just another reason. And then finally, another reason is it makes your legs look more muscly, more veiny, and players like the look of it. It's that simple. Another one which I actually hate, I honestly hate this one, it's just the marketing strategy used by big brands. It's saying that there's a certain type of boot for a certain type of player. Like for example, you can only wear Hypervenoms if you're a striker, you can only wear Mercs if you're a winger. Things like this. You can only wear black Tiempos if you're a centre back. These are just, honestly, these are just strategies Nike, Adidas, Puma have used to sell their boots more. I don't care what position you are. You could be a goalkeeper and you can wear the brightest, lightest, most expensive pair of mercurials. No one actually cares. If they fit you, if they're comfortable, if they make you feel comfortable on the pitch and you like the look of them, you like the feel of them, then go for them, buy them. But just because you play in a certain position doesn't mean you can't wear a certain type of boot. A question we get asked a lot is, why do players cut socks? Why do they wear wrist tape? Things like this. Well, cutting socks is because the normal socks that footballers wear, they can be quite slippy, they can be rather really thin or really thick. Sometimes they're uncomfortable, and obviously because they're slippy, your foot can move in your boot. So because of this, players like to wear their own socks, grip socks, whatever you want to call it. And obviously you have to wear the high sock because that's the rule in football, so you can put your shin pad under that. So players like to wear grip socks or normal Nike socks, Adidas socks, whatever, under them. And then on top, they just put the cut sock over, shin pad in, and they're ready to go. I personally do cut my socks. I much prefer the feel of my own socks that I train in throughout the week, and I actually do think it looks much better. Then let's talk about wrist tape. So people say that players wear wrist tape because it helps protect their wrists when they fall over. I've had plenty of teammates who have worn wrist tape on their wrists and not one has said because it protects their wrists. Every single person has said it looks good, it makes them feel confident, it makes them feel like a real footballer. So it's basically mental. It helps them mentally prepare and makes them feel good when going out onto the pitch. Now it might a tiny bit protect your wrist when you fall over, but 99% of players who wear wrist tape are wearing it because they think it looks good. Now a massive myth that I hate again is that players can't go to the gym, players can't lift weights. Now I know I've spoken a lot about players training in the gym in a bad way, they're training like a bodybuilder, which is true. Players who train in the wrong way in the gym, that can actually harm their performances and it can increase the chances of injury. However, if a player goes to the gym and does the right sorts of exercises, the right form, all of this stuff, then of course using weights and going to the gym will have a positive impact on your performance on the pitch. Yes, you can go to the gym, yes you can lift weights, just understand you have to know what you're doing. So if you are a beginner, then try and get some help, get a program, get a coach, something like that. Don't want to hear any more that weights will harm a footballer's career or performances. If used correctly and if players go to the gym and do the correct things, this will only have a positive impact on them and their football. Another one is all footballers must have six packs. Now, if you do train properly, if you do go to the gym, if you do have the right lifestyle, if you do eat healthy, and if you do eat the right sorts of foods, you might actually have a six-pack just from doing that. However, if you're a footballer, that doesn't mean you have to have a six-pack. I've seen so many professional footballers, and I've actually had teammates myself who are really good footballers, but they don't have six-packs. Not everyone can have great six-packs because of their genetics. For example, they can only have a 4-pack. Some people can have an 8-pack. It 100% depends on their genetics. And I've even had teammates and seen professional footballers who might have an extra bit of body fat, but they're still an absolute baller. So yes, the chances are if you're doing everything right, you probably will have a 4-pack or a 6-pack. However, if your abs aren't completely visible, it's not too big of an issue. Of course, you don't want too high of a body fat percentage because that will obviously have a negative impact on your career and on your performances. But if you do have a low body fat percentage and you still can't really see your abs, that's because of your poor ab genetics. That's it. So having a 6-pack is not a must to become a professional footballer. No coach will care about your 6-pack or your big biceps. All they care is about your ability on a football pitch. And finally, snuzzes. Now I've got a few here. I've got fresh berry flavour, I've got mint, I've got passion fruit, I've got tropic breeze, got some lemon flavour. Now what are these? Why do footballers use them? Basically they are a nicotine patch that you put in your gum, and footballers like them because they help you relax. There's been a few studies on this, on what actual impacts it has. Some people say that it has a positive impact on their performances and things like this. However, I haven't felt this, or I don't really agree with this. I like to use them after trainings, after matches, to help me relax. That's it. Now, I'm not saying you should use them. They are addictive, and there's a few studies out there that say they aren't great for health. So do your own research, look at these things in your own time, and if you want to try them out, it's completely your own choice. But I wouldn't recommend these to anyone. And the ones that I'm using anyway, they aren't even strong at all. These ones are my favourite, and it's only 2 out of the 4. If it's the complete 4, then they're quite strong, and I can't really handle that strength yet. Right, that was today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about the topics I spoke about today, drop a comment below. If you have any requests for future videos, again, drop a comment below.